big bucks given to Corbin Burnes in the offseason, and he's been a total workhorse. And then he goes out with the elbow injury, and we're waiting a few days. And Friday after the show, we find out the news. Tommy John surgery. He's probably going to miss, what, nowadays, 14-ish months? I mean, you're going deep into next year
there's a good
if
chance
you come
he might
back.
miss 26.
Yeah, so now you're looking at 27. And he had been as advertised for a team that was off to a meh start. 11 starts, 2.66 ERA, 156 ERA plus. He was great. Some other guys have been down. Gallen's not as good right now. Brandon Pfaadt's not having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some mistake signings. That's the first one I said. Gallen's been down.
What happened?
It'll come back. I don't think it's a
when
permanent thing.
When he gets traded.
So there we go. This happened a few days ago. Let's spin this forward. Where are we at on the Diamondbacks? They lost the series this weekend to Cincinnati, right? They're 31-34. In 2023, Ken Rosenthal pointed this out. They had a 7-25 stretch, and they made it to the World Series with a rotation of Gallen, Kelly, Pfaadt. Just trying to paint the positives, or are you going to come smack me and say, nope, they're trading away 5 assets at the deadline?
I can't. I don't see it in that division. And with as good as the National League is, I just don't see it. That's the problem. It's not the National League is so loaded. Who are they? They're better than the Giants the way they're playing right now? No. Are they better than the Padres right now? No. Are they better than the Dodgers? There's 3 teams in their division that they're not better than. Then we can even get to the East with the Mets and Phillies.
Maybe.
By the way, we can cook the Braves. Braves cook. Sorry, Claude, producer lady.
We'll get to them.
Braves are cooked, but and then the Cubs, Brewers, even.
Yeah, but the Diamondbacks can get in as a wild card.
Okay, I just named 8 teams that are better than them.
You think they're all better than them? You think the Brewers are definitely better than the
right
Diamondbacks?
Now? The way the Diamondbacks are playing.
Yeah, but if some starters bounce back, Kratz, do you think that the Diamondbacks are okay, or do you think they're going to be selling? Because they do actually have a lot to sell because they have free agency looming for starters like Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, Josh Naylor for
Suarez.
First base, Gino Suarez. And then, Shelby Miller's actually pitched really well out of the bullpen. They've only had a few guys that have pitched well out of the bullpen, which is part of the problem. But where are you at on them?
It's so hard to see a lineup like this that with Marte back, it's healthy. They're going to bludgeon you to death. And I don't think the starters are as bad as their pitching. Merrill Kelly's Elite One outing. I mean, a no-hitter going the other day. He's down another outing. What AJ said is so hard for me to see them climbing out of this division because they have to play in this division. If they were in the Central, could they hang around longer? Maybe. You have to play such good baseball because of all those teams that you're going to play. Yeah, you got your laughers with the Rockies, but there's 3 teams above you have to play. They're obviously not going to catch those teams. I'm not saying that's what's going to hold them back. They have to catch all the other teams. I think they are better, obviously better than their record. But is Zach Gallen going to turn it around? Because he kind of did this a little bit last year. Is there something he doesn't believe in his stuff? Because his zone percentage change is like one of the highest out-of-zone percentage changes of pitches from last year to this year of any pitcher. Like he's throwing more pitches out of the zone. So when he has to come in the zone, he's getting hurt. And maybe he knows that if he throws in the zone, he's going to get hurt. I don't know what's happening with him, but he has to step up and be the ace. Has to.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys both. Okay, I'm looking at the wild card standings right now. 3 get in, right? 3 wild cards. So right now the Padres, Giants, Phillies are in. Are they better than those 3?
I think they could pass the Giants.
Okay, they're 6.5 behind them right now.
It's a lot.
Okay. Then there's the Cardinals, Brewers, Reds ahead of them.
I think they are just as good as any of those teams if they stay intact and get some bounce
so
backs.
they're better. They're going to catch the Phillies or the Giants or the Padres.
I think it's possible for them to catch one of those teams.
Okay. All right.
Most likely the Giants.
And the Nationals are just like a game behind them.
Yeah, they're not in a good spot. They're 31-34, no doubt.
The Rockies are only 20 or no. The Rockies are only 19 games behind them, so they might catch them too.
They've made some mistakes.
Wins. Sorry, I know expected wins isn't a real thing. It's exactly a 31-34. They're playing exactly what the record is. Like they're not unlucky. Maybe they're just not that good at pitching right now.
If you're one of those on-the-go people or you're skipping meals but you don't want to, there's got to be a quicker solution. We've got one for you. It's called Huel. I'm going to take a swig. Cheers to Huel. This is the Black Edition, plant-based as well. Good for me. But what do you like about it?
I like the nutrition of it, and the replacement meal is great for me. If someone always on the go, like, man, I can just grab one of these out of my fridge, lunch, breakfast, whatever it takes, whatever meal I'm not going to have time to eat. It fills me up, and it tastes great. You know why? Because it tastes like milkshake, ice cream, whatever you want to call it, whatever flavor you get is delicious.
35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 vitamins and minerals, low sugar. You can get yourself 15% off plus a free gift for new customers using the exclusive FT code FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled. They've made some sizable investments in starters over the last several years. And this year they have their highest payroll ever in team history, 187 mil. What did they do 2 years ago? They
went to the World Series.
Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
But that's different from what I'm saying is it goes back, 6-7 years ago. Madison Bumgarner, huge bust. Jordan Montgomery has been a bust. Eduardo Rodriguez has been a massive bust. That was a brutal signing.
Can't stay healthy.
No. But even when he is, he's pitched, 11, 12 starts this year. He looks awful. Mm-hmm. Except for this weekend, I think it was his best start of the year, 5 innings, 2 runs. He doesn't look there. And now Corbin, who was great, but it's been a workhorse. And
the one that surprises me is the Gallon. Look, I mean, his StatCast page is blue.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. He was so good for those few years. I mean, ridiculous, talking Cy Young good.
Yep. I thought he'd have it this year,
I think he's going to bounce back.
I thought he'd have it this year.
When he gets traded?
Yeah, if he gets traded, that would help things, wouldn't it?
It's a bad division. It's a bad league this year. If he were in the American League, I could say, all right, I could see him making a run. But in the National League, there's just too many good teams. The Giants' pitching is so good that I just don't know if they're going to fall apart. I know they don't score runs. But the Giants, they always seem to walk off at least one opponent in a series. Sometimes 2. Sometimes it's the craziest. The one, remember the infield park bunt for a Little League home run they had, the one with Ramos. And then they had, the Chapman, the wild pitch this weekend. It's like something with the Giants. When they are right, maybe it's Buster Posey. Buster Posey has pixie dust or fairy dust he puts on the field because when Buster Posey was playing, they did the same thing. It was always a weird walk-off. Well, they just seem to do it. You look at their team, you're like, how? But they figure it out.
All right, so if we're saying the Giants are the exact opposite of the Diamondbacks, AJ, and then I'll ask you, Scott, which team would you rather have? A team that hammers the baseball and the pitching's meh, and a team that pitches the baseball and the hitting's meh? Which would you rather have to win?
For what?
To win a World Series.
The one that pitches and the one that wins the games. I want the one that can win the games, knows how to win the games. I mean, how many teams have we seen that can hammer the baseball? I go back to the 90s, early 2000 Indians/Guardians. Manny, Tomey, Alomar Brothers, all this, and they didn't win anything. Because they couldn't pitch.
Yeah, but in recent history, you definitely need both. I feel like there's been more
obviously
need for both.
No, pitching always wins. Though.
But
pitching,
the Dodgers could bang last year.
Who?
The Dodgers.
Yeah, but look at their pitching was a lot better than
their bullpen was awesome.
Yes.
The year before, the Rangers, they could swing the bats 2 years ago.
Look at their starting pitching offense. And what their starting pitching did against the Diamondbacks.
Evaldi,
that's why they
Montgomery,
beat them.
Yes. But my thing is, there are some good names. Merrill Kelly could be a really good pitcher for this team in a postseason if Gallen bounces back. He's not 38. If Gallen bounces back. Brandon Pfaadt's got good potential. He's been off to a slow start. Just saying. I know I'm the one playing defense here. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs.
I just don't see it this year.
I think it's a good team, but you're right. If they're 5 games out at the trade deadline, they're going to be very popular because there aren't a ton of really sexy names out there, and they could really impact the playoff race.
And they could impact if they have to rebuild quickly because they have enough people to trade to make this go quicker.
Right.
Or fast.
You could get yourself back in the mix next year because, the offense is good.
So I was talking to, obviously I was in Milwaukee this weekend, right? And Corbin Burnes was in Milwaukee before he went to Baltimore. And I was talking to some pitchers, and I said, well, okay, so Corbin's out for the rest of this year. And then I said, he's probably out for next year. And we kind of walked through it. And I was talking to some guys and that had Tommy John and some position players too that had Tommy John. I said, all right, why is it an 18-month process? Because remember, I forget who we had on. They said we could make it quicker we could if we wanted to. And the people I talked to said it's not the fact that there's pain in there. It's just the fact that you just can't, it doesn't feel right. Like it's not a painful thing.
Strength, right?
It's like they're like, you could probably come back in a year-ish if you pushed it, but it doesn't feel right. They're like, I don't know how to explain it if you've never had it. It just doesn't feel the same, and it takes you that extra 4 or 5 months to kind of feel like I can let it go and it's not going to blow up. And also like just the way it feels coming in. I don't know. I've never had it. Kratz, you've never had it, right? So I don't know. It's just what people were telling me because I was asking, like, why is the rehab not evolved to something faster? Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.